My sister asked to wear my wedding dress to her own wedding, 6 months after mine, but she'd gained about 40 pounds and the dress wouldn't fit her. Let me back up. My name's Claire. I'm 32. My sister Emma is 30. We've always been close, but we're different people. I'm into fitness and eating right. Emma's never cared about that stuff, and honestly, I never judged her for it. We just lived different lives. I got married last June in this beautiful custom dress. It cost me $8,000. My mom helped pay for it as a wedding gift. It was the dress I'd dreamed about since I was a kid. Lace, beading, this perfect off-shoulder design. I felt like royalty in it. Emma got engaged in August, and her wedding was set for December. 3 weeks before her wedding, she called me. Hey, so I have a crazy idea, she said. What if I wore your dress for my wedding? I didn't say anything at first. I was thinking about how to respond without being mean. Like, I love it so much, it's perfect, and we could save money, she kept going. Mom could help alter it or whatever. Emma, I don't know. That dress is really special to me. I want to keep it. Come on, we're sisters. Don't you want to share this with me? It would mean so much. I felt guilty. Part of me wanted to say yes, but I also knew my dress wouldn't fit her. I'd seen her at Thanksgiving 2 months before, and she definitely gained weight. I didn't want to say that, though. That felt cruel. Let me think about it, I told her. 2 days later, she texted me a photo of herself in the dress. I had no idea she'd taken it from my apartment. She was holding it up against her body, not actually wearing it, but I could see it wouldn't zip, not even close. I called her immediately. Emma, why did you take that? I just wanted to see how it would look, and honestly, it's not that far off. Your seamstress can let it out, right? Add panels or something. It's not about what a seamstress can do. That dress cost $8,000. It's custom. If we start changing it, it won't be the same dress anymore. So you're saying no because I'm fat? There it was. She said it before I had to. That's not fair. This isn't about your weight. This is about my dress being my dress. You should have your own dress, your own moment. My own moment with a dress I can't afford because I'm not rich like you, she said. Her voice was cold now. You know what? Forget it. I thought you loved me enough to do this one thing. I guess I was wrong. She hung up. I didn't hear from her for a week. Then my mom called. Emma's really hurt, Claire. She feels like you rejected her. Mom, she wanted to wear my dress, my $8,000 dress that I paid for. I know, honey, but she's your sister. Couldn't you just let her borrow it, get it altered? The dress won't survive that kind of alteration, and even if it could, I don't want to. Is that so wrong? Mom sighed. I think you should reconsider. Family is more important than things. I went to Emma's wedding anyway. She wore a different dress, a nice one she'd bought herself. But during the reception, she barely looked at me. My mom kept giving me sad looks, and my dad pulled me aside and said, Your sister's struggling right now. A little kindness would have cost you nothing. But here's the thing. It wasn't about kindness. It was about her assuming she could use my stuff without asking. It was about her guilt-tripping me when I said no. It was about my mom and dad taking her side instead of understanding my position. So am I the one in the wrong here? Should I have just let her wear the dress and dealt with whatever happened to it? My boss spent 3 years stealing my ideas and passing them off as his own. When he got promoted on the back of my work, I decided to burn everything down. His name was Derek. He was 52, had been at the company for 20 years, and was the kind of guy who walked around like he owned the place. I'm 28. I started at Tech Vision Solutions 5 years ago as a junior developer, and I was good at my job. Really good. Derek was my direct manager. He had this habit of sitting in on my meetings, asking me questions about my projects, then vanishing to his office. 2 weeks later, he'd present my exact ideas to the executive team. Same talking points, same code solutions, same everything, except his name was on the slide. I brought it up once. I said, Hey Derek, I noticed you presented that database solution I showed you to the directors yesterday. He smiled and said, Yeah, I refined it a bit. That's what managers do. We take raw junior work and polish it into something presentable. It's a team effort. Then he patted my shoulder like I was a kid. The thing is, I had proof. Emails, chat logs, my original code with timestamps. I kept everything. But I didn't want to look like a whiner, so I stayed quiet. For 3 years this went on. My ideas, his presentations, his bonuses, his promotions. Then came the Anderson contract. It was huge, $50 million. The company needed a custom platform built from scratch, and I was the one who designed the entire system. I spent 6 months on it. Every part of it was me. Derek sat through my design meetings. He asked questions. He took notes. Then he did what he always did. He presented it as his own. But this time was different. This time, the CEO asked him a technical question about the platform's security architecture. Derek froze. He didn't know the answer. He tried to bluff his way through it, but the CEO, Mr. Harrison, wasn't buying it. I was sitting in the back of the room, watching this happen. Mr. Harrison said, Derek, I need to understand the encryption layer. Walk me through it. Derek stammered. He said something completely wrong. Mr. Harrison's face went cold. That's when I stood up. I said, I can answer that. I designed that platform. The room went silent. Derek's face turned red. He said, What are you talking about? I designed that. I said, No, you didn't. You've never designed anything. You steal my work and take credit for it. I have emails, chat logs, code commits with my name on them, everything. Mr. Harrison looked at Derek, then at me. He said, Is this true? I said, Check my email. Check the code repository. Check the project files. All of it is documented. Derek tried to recover. He said, She's just a junior developer trying to make herself look good. She helps me, but I'm the one who leads these projects. I said, Then explain the encryption algorithm. Explain how the API handles load balancing. Explain the database architecture. He couldn't. He opened his mouth and nothing came out. Mr. Harrison said, I want every project Derek has presented in the last 3 years audited. Now. It took 2 weeks. They found 47 projects. 47. Derek had stolen credit on 47 projects from me and 5 other junior developers. The Anderson contract alone was worth $50 million. That was just the tip. Derek was fired. Not just fired. The company pressed charges for theft of intellectual property. He lost his severance. He lost his pension. He lost his reputation. But that wasn't enough for me. I found out he'd been applying for jobs at other companies. I sent a detailed email to every tech company in the city. I included documentation, emails, proof. I made sure they knew exactly what he'd done. No one would hire him. 6 months later, I heard he'd moved back in with his sister. He was doing contract work on Fiverr for $15 an hour. His wife left him. His kids stopped talking to him. And me? I got promoted to lead architect. The company gave me back pay for 3 years of stolen credit. I got a raise, a big one. The Anderson contract became my baby to lead. Derek destroyed his own life the moment he decided to steal from me. I just made sure everyone knew about it. My sister showed up at my door with her 3 kids and told me I had to watch them for the entire summer. No asking, no negotiating, just telling me. Let me back up. My name is David. I'm 32 and I work as a graphic designer from home. My sister Karen is 40 and has 3 kids, Marcus who's 8, Sophie who's 6, and little Tommy who's 4. She's been a stay-at-home mom for years, which is fine, but she's also one of those people who thinks her life choices should become everyone else's problem. It was June when she texted me, "Hey, I'm coming by tomorrow, need to talk about summer." I didn't think much of it. I figured she wanted to grab lunch or something, but when she showed up, she had all 3 kids in the car, their backpacks already packed. She walked into my apartment like she owned it. "Okay, so here's the deal. My husband got offered this amazing job, but it's in another state for the whole summer. We're leaving next week, and you're going to watch the kids." I just stared at her. "What? You heard me. You work from home anyway. It's perfect. The kids can just stay here." "Karen, no, absolutely not. I have deadlines. I have clients. I can't." "You can and you will," she said. She wasn't even looking at me. She was already taking the kids' jackets off. "They're easy. Marcus is in school, so that's only 6 hours. Sophie and Tommy just need snacks and TV time. You barely have to do anything." "That's not how this works. You can't just drop your kids on me for 3 months." "Why not? You don't have a family. You don't have a real job. What else are you doing?" That hit different. I felt my face get hot. "My job pays my bills and feeds me, and I'm not your free daycare." "You're my brother," she said, and her voice changed. It got softer, like she was disappointed in me. "Family helps family. Mom always says you're selfish, and I defended you, but maybe she's right." I didn't say anything for a second. Our mom had been saying stuff like that for years, and Karen usually stood up for me. Hearing her throw it back in my face was rough. "I need to think about it," I finally said. "There's nothing to think about. We're leaving next Tuesday. The kids will be here Monday night." She left that afternoon, but she didn't come back to pick them up. She just didn't. Monday night came. She dropped the kids off at my apartment, with 2 suitcases and a list of their allergies written on the back of a grocery receipt. She didn't hug them goodbye. She just said, "David's going to take really good care of you guys," and left. I called her immediately. "Karen, come back here, right now." "I can't. We're already 3 hours into the drive. The kids are fine. Stop being dramatic." "You cannot leave your children at someone's house without their permission. This is not okay." "They're with their uncle. What's the problem?" "The problem is, I didn't agree to this. You made a choice for me." She hung up. I took a breath and looked at the kids. Marcus was on my couch looking confused. Sophie was playing with my laptop. Tommy was trying to open my fridge. I called my mom. "Did you know Karen was doing this?" "Yes, and I think you should do it. Family takes care of family." "She didn't ask me. She told me. That's not how family works. You're being selfish." I hung up. That night I called a lawyer. I explained the situation. The lawyer said what Karen did was technically child abandonment, and I had options. I could call Child Protective Services, or I could contact my parents, and make it clear that if Karen didn't come back within 24 hours, I would file a report. I called my dad. He answered on the second ring. "Dad, Karen left her kids at my house. She's in another state. She's not coming back to get them." He was quiet. Then he said, "Oh no." "Yeah, and I'm calling CPS if she doesn't pick them up tomorrow. I'm serious." I heard from my mom an hour later that Karen was losing her mind, screaming that I was betraying her, that I was ruining her summer, that I was the worst brother ever. She drove back that night. She was furious when she got there, but she didn't say anything to me. She just grabbed the kids and left. The next morning my mom texted me that Karen had told everyone in the family what I did, that I refused to help, that I threatened to call the cops on her, that I was a selfish person who didn't care about his own sister. But here's the thing. My dad believed me, my aunt believed me, and 2 weeks later, my mom called and said she was sorry for what she said, that Karen had told her the whole story, and she realized what Karen had done was wrong. Karen and I don't really talk anymore. She sends the kids birthday cards from their dad now. My parents have been careful about not forcing us together, and I stopped feeling guilty about any of it. My husband of 12 years built his entire company using my business plan while cheating on me with his secretary. Let me back up. I'm Sarah, 38, and I spent 5 years developing a software system for managing rental properties. This wasn't some side thing. I worked nights and weekends while raising our 2 kids ages 8 and 10. I had the full business plan written out, marketing strategy, pricing model, everything. I showed it to Marcus because he was my husband, and I thought he wanted to support me. Then one day I found out he'd quit his job and started a company doing exactly what I planned. Same software, same business model, different name. He never asked, never told me. I only found out because our daughter came home talking about Daddy's new office. When I confronted him, he laughed. actually laughed at me. Sarah, come on. You weren't going to do anything with it anyway. You're too busy with the kids. I'm making this happen. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Marcus, that's my idea. We need to talk to a lawyer. Go ahead, he said. Try to sue me. We're married. Everything is ours anyway. That's when I realized something. He was right about one thing. We were married, which meant I had access to everything. I hired a divorce lawyer first, but I didn't tell him what I was planning. What I needed was information. So I waited. I watched. I learned his passwords by watching his fingers when he typed. I installed tracking software on his laptop. I got copies of his bank statements by calling his bank and pretending to be him. What I found was beautiful. He had 3 accounts. One for the business, one for his personal money, and one, this was the key, one secret account where he was depositing cash payments from clients, completely off the books. No taxes, no reporting. I'm talking $50,000 a month in unreported income. I also found emails, thousands of them, with his secretary, Jennifer, photos, dates, locations, everything. But here's where I got smart. I didn't just go after the money. That would be too easy. I contacted the IRS, not as his wife, as a concerned citizen. I provided every piece of evidence, bank statements, deposits, everything. I even included the dates and amounts in a no-organized spreadsheet. The emails too. Then I contacted his biggest clients, the ones giving him the most money. I sent them copies of his business plan with my name on it, the original version I'd written. I included a note saying Marcus had stolen this plan from me and was now using it to run his company. I didn't threaten them. I just gave them the facts and let them decide what to do. Then I went to the divorce lawyer and filed. I listed everything he owned. The house, the cars, the business, all of it. Marcus didn't see it coming. None of it. First, the IRS showed up at his office with a federal investigation. He called me screaming. What did you do? What did you do? I reported tax fraud, I said, which is what you were doing. You're insane. You're destroying everything. You destroyed our marriage, I said, and hung up. Then his clients started pulling out, one by one. They hired lawyers. They said they couldn't work with a company that stole intellectual property. They wanted refunds. His business started falling apart in days. The divorce settlement was brutal for him. The judge saw everything. The business was valued and split. He had to pay me $140,000 as my share of what he'd built, using my plan. He had to pay penalties to the IRS. He lost custody of the kids 3 days a week. He had to sell the house to pay his legal fees. Jennifer left him the week his tax problems became public. Turns out she didn't want to be with him anymore, once he wasn't rich. Last I heard, he's working as a software developer for someone else, making decent money, but nothing like before. He's also paying me child support and alimony for the next 4 years. I kept the business plan. It's mine now, and I'm finally building it myself. My boyfriend's ex showed up at our apartment with a positive pregnancy test and said the baby was his. I need to back up. Me and Marcus have been together for 3 years. We live in a 1-bedroom in Portland. Everything was good. Not perfect, but solid. We talked about getting married next year. We had plans. Then one Saturday morning, there's a knock on the door. I'm still in my pajamas. Marcus is in the shower. I open it and there's this woman, tall red hair, wearing a crop top even though it's October. Her name is Jordan. I recognize her from pictures. Marcus's ex from college. She pushes past me into the apartment. I need to talk to Marcus, she says. Now. I tell her to wait. Marcus comes out of the bathroom in a towel. He sees her and his face goes white. Like actually white. Jordan, what are you doing here? She holds up a pregnancy test. 2 pink lines. I'm pregnant. It's yours. I found out 3 days ago. My stomach drops. Marcus is staring at the test like it's going to bite him. That's not possible, he says. We broke up 5 years ago. We haven't seen each other since. Yeah, well, we slept together 2 months ago, Jordan says. You don't remember? Vegas? You were so drunk you could barely stand. We went back to my hotel room. I'm looking at Marcus. His hands are shaking. I don't remember that, he says quietly. Yeah, well, I have video, Jordan says. She pulls out her phone and starts playing something. Marcus grabs it and turns away. I can hear sounds, voices. It's definitely him and her. I feel sick. Get out, I say. I don't even recognize my own voice. I'm not talking to you, Jordan says. She's looking at Marcus. I want $50,000 for the pregnancy, the birth, and the first year of the kid's life. Then we can talk about child support. $50,000, Marcus says. Jordan, I don't have that kind of money. Then you better figure it out, or I'm going to tell her everything, and I'm going to post the video online. Vegas gets ugly when you're drunk, doesn't it? She leaves, just walks out, leaves the pregnancy test on our coffee table. Marcus tries to explain. He says he was blacked out. He says he didn't know what he was doing. He says it was a mistake. Did you use protection? I ask. He doesn't answer. Did you use protection, Marcus? I don't remember, he says. I leave. I go to my mom's house for 2 weeks. Marcus calls every day. He's sorry. He's confused. He's scared. He wants me to come home and work through this. Then I get a message from Jordan. She's asking if I want to know the truth. We meet at a coffee shop. Turns out Marcus isn't the father. Jordan had the baby tested. The real father is some guy named Tyler. She only came after Marcus because he makes good money, and Tyler doesn't. She wanted a cash grab from someone she knew had a girlfriend and would panic. She shows me texts between her and Tyler. She bought a test online. The whole thing was a scam. I confront Marcus with this. He cries. He says he's so relieved but also ashamed that he almost believed it. That part of him wanted to believe it, because he felt so guilty about Vegas. But here's the thing. He went to Vegas without telling me. He lied about where he was. He slept with his ex. And even though Jordan was running a con, Marcus still did those things. I tell him I need time. He moves out. We're in counseling now, but I'm done. Not because of the fake baby. Because he looked me in the eye for 2 weeks and lied about where he was. Because he made choices that put us in a position where someone could blackmail him. I filed for a lease breakup. He's moving back to Seattle next month. We're not getting back together. My sister dropped her 2 kids off at my house for a few weeks in June and didn't come back until September. Let me back up. My sister Kate is 34, divorced, and has 2 kids, Emma who's 8 and Tyler who's 6. She's always been kind of a mess, honestly. Moving between jobs, dating guys who don't stick around, that kind of thing. But I love her. She's my sister. So in early June she calls me. She sounds stressed. She tells me she got offered this job opportunity in Colorado. A 3-month contract, really good money. She says, hey, can the kids stay with you for a few weeks while I get settled? Just until I find childcare out there? I said yes. I have 2 kids of my own. Sarah's 10 and Michael's 7. My husband Tom and I aren't rich, but we're doing okay. I figured a few weeks. That's manageable. But then June turned into July. July turned into August. And I'm calling Kate asking where she is, when she's coming back, and she keeps saying, soon, I promise. She texts me photos from her new apartment, going to happy hours with her new coworkers. Meanwhile, I'm buying extra groceries, signing up Emma and Tyler for summer camp so they have something to do, spending money I didn't plan to spend. By mid-August, I lost it. I called her. Kate, where are you? I said. I told you, I'm in Colorado. The job is going really well. Yeah, and your kids are here, with me, still. It's been 2 months. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get on my feet. I promise I'm working on. Working on what? Finding childcare? Kate, you've had 8 weeks. She got defensive. You think I wanted this? You think I like being away from my kids? I don't know what you wanted, but they're my responsibility right now, and I'm drowning. Tom's frustrated. My kids miss having my attention. I can't do this anymore. So what, you want me to just come get them? I don't have childcare set up. I don't have a place for them yet. Then you figure it out, because they're coming home in 1 week, September 1st, no exceptions. She didn't come. September 1st came and went. She texted me saying her new lease wouldn't be ready until mid-September, and could the kids stay just a little longer? I texted back one word, no. She finally picked them up on September 8th. When she got to my house, I was angry. She looked tired and guilty, but mostly I just felt used. I'm sorry, she said in my kitchen. Are you, because you left your kids with me for 10 weeks without asking permission first? You drained my money, my time, my patience, and you didn't even seem sorry while you were doing it. I was working. You were partying. You sent me photos. You were at bars, at brunches. You seemed happy. Meanwhile, I was changing your kids' sheets and packing their lunches and explaining to Emma why her mom wasn't calling her back. Kate started crying. I was scared. I didn't know how to do this alone. Then, you should have thought about that before you took a job 3 states away without a plan. Now it's been 3 weeks since she picked them up. She texted me asking if I could take the kids again this coming weekend because she has a date. I said no. I told her I can't be her backup childcare. I told her if she can't handle being a single mom, that's not my problem to solve. She called me crying, saying I'm being cruel, that family is supposed to help each other. My mom called me too, saying I'm being too hard on Kate, that she's doing her best. But am I? She abandoned her kids for 10 weeks. She left them with me and didn't ask, just told me. She lied about how long it would be. She went out and lived her best life while I changed diapers that weren't mine and signed permission slips and bought school supplies. So am I the asshole for refusing to help her anymore? My boss took credit for 3 years of my code. I got him arrested. My name's David. I'm a software engineer. I was 28 when this started, working at a mid-sized tech company called Synergy in Austin, Texas. My boss was this guy named Marcus Chen. He was 42, had been there for 8 years, and everyone thought he was a genius. Except he wasn't. I was. For 3 years, I wrote the code that made Synergy's main product work. I wrote the back-end systems. I wrote the security layers. I wrote the stuff that made the company money. But every time we shipped something, Marcus would go to the CEO and take the credit. He'd say my team did it, but really, he meant me. Just me. I didn't even realize how bad it was until I got my annual review in year 3. Marcus rated me as meets expectations. Meets expectations. Meanwhile, he's getting promotions, bonuses, and the CEO's ear. The company brought in outside investors that year. Marcus pitched them on his revolutionary platform. It was my code. Every line of it. I tried talking to him first. I went to his office one afternoon. Hey Marcus, I wanted to chat about the product demo you gave the investors. He looked up from his desk. Yeah? What about it? Well, I wrote most of that code. I think I should have been in the meeting. He leaned back in his chair and smiled, like I just told a joke. David, leadership is about vision. You're good at writing code, but you don't have the business sense for this level of work. I wrote the code though. You wrote code that I designed. There's a difference. That's when I knew he was lying on purpose. He didn't just believe he deserved the credit. He was choosing to steal it. I went home and started documenting everything. I pulled my Git history. I had commit logs with timestamps going back 3 years. I had emails where I walked Marcus through problems he didn't understand. I had Slack messages where I explained code to him because he couldn't read it. I had everything, but I didn't go to HR. That wouldn't work. HR works for the company, not for me. And Marcus had friends in HR. Instead, I did something smarter. I called a journalist. Her name was Sarah Kim, and she covered tech fraud for the Austin Business Journal. I sent her my documentation and a simple message. This executive is lying to investors about who built the core product. I have proof. Sarah called me the next day. We met at a coffee shop. I brought my laptop and showed her everything. The Git logs, the emails, the code reviews where Marcus asked me to fix his mistakes. The investor pitch, where he claimed sole responsibility for architecture decisions I'd made. She took screenshots of everything. 3 weeks later, the story broke. Synergy Core executive accused of taking credit for employees' work. It was front page of the business section, interviewed other engineers at the company, and pulled Synergy Core's investor documents. The article proved that Marcus had told investors he'd designed the system when he had no design credits in the codebase. Marcus tried to spin it. He called an all-hands meeting the next morning. "This is a misunderstanding," he said. "I never claimed to write the code myself. I said my team built it." But the article had his exact words from the investor pitch, word for word. He'd said, "I architected the system, and I designed these security protocols." The article even had the audio recording. The investors got mad, really mad. They'd made decisions based on Marcus's qualifications. They trusted him to lead technical strategy. Now they found out he couldn't even read his own codebase. Then the SEC got involved, not because of the code theft, but because Marcus had lied to investors. That's fraud. That's a federal crime. They subpoenaed everything, the company's emails, the investor documents, everything. Marcus's lawyer told him to resign. He did it on a Friday, but resigning wasn't enough. The SEC investigation moved forward. 6 months later, Marcus was charged with wire fraud and conspiracy. He faced up to 10 years in prison. He took a plea deal. 18 months in federal prison. He also had to pay back his bonuses from the years he stole credit. That was $340,000. I got promoted to senior engineer. I got a raise. I got the title and the respect. But the best part was watching Marcus walk into federal court in a suit, knowing everyone in that building knew he was a liar and a thief. He's in prison right now. His cell number is available online if you want to send him a letter.